Auto ISO minimum shutter speed is a great function, but it does have its limits. And if you want to utilize this, you really do need to know about this one issue. In aperture priority, you can turn the ISO to auto, set your minimum and maximum ISO levels, and then set the lowest shutter speed you want to shoot at. Your camera will then choose the right shutter speed for the conditions you're shooting in, and when the shutter speed drops to the limit you've set, it'll start to raise the ISO. So far it sounds great. No need to worry too much about your settings. You just use exposure compensation to brighten or darken your image to suit, and the camera sorts pretty much everything else out. However, you can't just set it and forget about it. When the ambient light drops and you reach your maximum ISO level you've set in the ISO auto setting, you're basically telling the camera not to go any higher with ISO. But instead of the camera just underexposing the shot from that point onwards, it will then start to drop your shutter speed once again. Now, because of the name of this setting, it kind of goes against everything that name stands for. It's minimum shutter speed auto ISO. So it should really keep that minimum shutter speed and then carry on changing the ISO setting. So you can see here I've set the camera up, and as the light drops through the evening, the shutter speed lengthens until it gets to the 1/125th speed I've set it to. Then the ISO starts to increase, keeping that shutter speed at 1/125th of a second. However, when the ISO reaches the limit of 3200 that I set, the shutter speed starts to drop again. So obviously it uses that upper ISO limit as a hard stop, but not the shutter speed, and then it starts to change that shutter speed again, which is kind of weird. So if you do shoot with this setting and the light is dropping where you're taking photos, you really do need to keep an eye on your shutter speed, as when it does hit that upper ISO limit, the shutter will start to drop once again. And if you're shooting handheld, this will increase the likelihood of your shots becoming blurry. Now, it would be great if they could have a message that flashes up on the screen telling you that the shutter speed is moving once again, or a way of telling the camera to hard fix that shutter speed. But for now, this isn't the case. And thinking about it, this is probably another job done by that Sony intern that they still haven't fired yet. Now, do you use auto minimum ISO shutter speed? If you do, let me know in the comments below, and let me know how you get on with it. I have done a video on this in the past, and a lot of you had commented on this problem. Now, if you like this video, try this one next, or if you want to binge watch a load of my photography tutorials, click down here. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for weekly tutorials in photography. I'll see you next time.